Today we're going to be dividing decimals with terminating and repeating decimals. A terminating decimal is a decimal that has a last digit, so the answer stops or the number stops. A repeating decimal is a decimal that does not stop. It keeps going and going and going, or it keeps repeating. Okay. So for repeating decimals, we use the repeating bar. For this problem, 0.555555, it keeps going. You would just use 5/10 with the repeating bar over the 5. As soon as you see that a number is repeating, you can put the bar over the number that you know is repeating. Number 2, in this one, the 6 and the 4 are both repeating. So you need to make sure that you put the repeating bar over the 6 and the 4, not just over the 4 and not just over the 6. So you can try number 3 on your own. Okay, number 3, you should have 2 and 73/100 with the repeating bar only over the 3, not over the 7, because the 7 is not repeating. Okay, if you ever have a number or an answer that the number keeps repeating, you can use the repeating bar. When you are dividing decimals, the first step is you're going to put the cowboy or the first number in the house. The cowboy is just, the fraction bar is another way to show division. So the top number or top dog or the cowboy goes inside the house, and then the bottom number stays out. And then step 2 is you move the decimal straight up. And then step 3, you are going to solve. So we're going to do some examples together. This one is 4 divided by 3. So 4 is the first number. It's going to go inside of the house. The 3 is going to go on the outside. Okay. If you don't see a decimal in the number, remember it goes at the end. So the decimal goes behind the 4, and then you move it straight up. Now you can just start dividing. 3 goes into 4 one time. 3 times 1 is 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. 3 cannot go into 1, so we add a 0 and bring it down. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so we have 9 here. 10 minus 9 is 1. Now you see that it's going to keep repeating. So the answer for this one, you can put the repeating bar over the 3. The answer is 1 3/10, repeating, with the repeating bar only over the 3. Okay, let's do another one. We have 5 divided by 8, so the 5 is going to go on the inside, and the 8 is going to go on the out. Remember, when you don't see a decimal, it goes at the end, and you can bring the decimal straight up. 8 cannot go into 5, so you can put a 0 or an X to go to the next place. 8 goes into 50 6 times. 6 times 8 is 48. 50 minus 48 is 2. 8 cannot go into 2, so you add a 0 and bring it down. 8 goes into 20 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. 20 minus 16 is 4. Add a 0 and bring it down. 8 goes into 40 5 times. 8 times 5 is 40, and you are done now because you have a 0. This is a terminating decimal because it does stop. And the answer is 625 thousandths. Okay, you can try this next one on your own. You can pause the video and then start it to check your answer. Okay, so you should have 5 in the house, 6 on the outside. The decimal goes at the end of the number. Bring it up. 6 cannot go into 5. 6 goes into 50 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. 50 minus 48 is 2. 6 cannot go into 2, so we add a 0 and bring it down. 6 goes into 20 3 times. 3 times 6 is 18. 20 minus 18 is 2. Again, we notice that this is a repeating number now, and our answer is going to be 83/100 repeating. Make sure that the repeating bar is only over the 3 because that is the number that is repeating, not the 8. Okay? Try this one on your own. Pause the video and you can start it whenever you are done. Okay, this one, 100 goes inside the house, 11 goes on the outside. The decimal goes at the end because you can't see it. 11 cannot go into 1, 11 cannot go into 10. 11 goes into 100 9 times. 9 times 11 is 99. 100 minus 99 is 1. 11 cannot go into 1, so we add a 0 and bring it down. 11 goes into 10. It cannot, so to keep everything lined up, we put a 0 at the top, add a 0 here, and bring the 0 down again. 11 now goes into 100 9 times. And we are back at where we started. So this is a repeating decimal. However, what is repeating? The 0 and the 9. So your answer should have the repeating bar over the 0 and the 9 because those are both the repeating numbers. So you have 9 and 9/100 repeating. Okay? You can skip the next two questions in your notes. You can try them on your own, but skip to number 7. And you have 17 and 2/10 divided by 6, but it says round to the nearest tenth. Okay? So you're going to start exactly how we did before. 17 and 2/10 goes in the house, divided by 6. Bring your decimal straight up. 6 goes into 17 2 times. 2 times 6 is 12. 17 minus 12 is 5. 6 cannot go into 5, so we bring down the 2. 6 goes into 52 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. Now, it says to round your answer to the nearest tenth. We do have our tenths place. However, when we're rounding, remember, we look to the right. There is nothing here in the hundredths place yet. So we're going to go one more place over in order to round. 52 minus 48 is 4. So we're going to add a 0 and bring it down. 6 goes into 40 6 times. Okay. Now we can stop because the tenths place can now look to the hundredths place. The 8 is in the tenths place, so we're going to underline that. It looks to the 6. The 6 tells the 8 to go up. So our answer is 2 and 9/10. Remember, if you're rounding to the tenths place, you only have one place after the decimal. So the answer is 2 and 9/10 for this problem. Try this next one on your own. Pause the video and then start it when you're ready to check. Okay, this next problem, you have 6 and 58/100 divided by 19. Bring your decimal straight up. 19 cannot go into 6. Let me change colors real quick so you can see. 19 cannot go into 6. 19 goes into 65 3 times. 3 times 19 is 57. 65 minus 57 is 8. 19 cannot go into 8, so you're going to bring down the other 8. 19 goes into 88. 8 4 times. 19 times 4 is 6, 4, 76. It says round your answer to the nearest tenth again. So if it's in the nearest tenth, the 3 is in the tenths place. It looks to the right at the 4. The 4 is below 5, so it tells the 3 to stay the same, and the answer is 3/10. Okay? Let's do one more together, and then you can start on your homework. This is a word problem. It says you can buy juice by the bottle or case. Either way, it costs the same for each bottle. A case of 24 bottles of juice costs $23.52. Kevin bought a bag of peanuts for 75 cents and one bottle of juice. How much did Kevin spend in all? So this is going to be a two-part problem. We know that 24 bottles cost $23.52, but we only want one bottle. So we are going to divide $23.52 divided by 24. Bring your decimal straight up. 24 goes into 23. It cannot. 24 goes into 235 9 times, and you get 216. When you subtract 235 minus 216, The answer is 19. 24 cannot go into 19, so you're going to bring down the 2. 24 goes into 192 8 times. 8 times 24 is 192. Okay, so for one bottle of juice, it is 98 cents. But that's not all he bought. He also bought a bag of peanuts for 75 cents. To find out how much he spent in all, you're going to add. Remember, when you are adding decimals, you line up the decimals. So you have 98 cents plus 75 cents. 8 plus 5 is 13. 9 plus 8 is 17. Bring your decimal straight down. And 1 plus 0 is 1. So Kevin spent $1.73 in all whenever he bought his peanuts and juice. If you have a question, you can ask me or re-watch the video and start on your homework.